What's up, YouTube? It's me, Freddy here. Welcome back to another video on the channel, and welcome to another FNAF video on the channel. Now, this one's a little interesting and different because it's essentially an edit of a stream, moment from a live stream, that we did previously already this year. And I've been thinking about making this into its own video at some point, and I figured if I was going to, I might as well go through the effort of at least making a pre-recorded intro for this little video, and then, letting you guys watch it, for those who didn't maybe catch the original stream. So yeah, anyways, so welcome back to another FNAF video. So let's just get down to the meat and potatoes and just the nitty-gritty and just be like, I've done a lot of FNAF. If we look at the playlist section, you will see all the various FNAF playlists on the screen, among other things, but there is a good chunk of FNAF content for your viewing pleasure. So I've done a lot of FNAF within the 7 years of the channel, within, FNAF of its own being 10 years old and whatnot, nearly 11 at this point. So I've done a lot of FNAF, and obviously, we had the whole modern FNAF playthrough that I'm doing, to try and beat every game to some extent, and, there's obviously other smaller things like fan games and, specific games being played all the way through, like FNAF World or Pizza Sim that was modded, the DJ Mario mod collection, again, fan game stuff, we've done a lot. So I figured where I was it was on my Secret Mimic news stream that I did back in April. I had this big FNAF talk at the end of it where I was just talking about general FNAF as a whole, and I figured it would be good as we were as I was saying, we're approaching the 11th anniversary, that I would give you guys what my general thoughts are for FNAF and where FNAF's going to be on the channel going forward, because I'm gonna be real that there is still some FNAF stuff to do, whether it's brand new stuff coming out there's all these FNAF World fan games and mods coming out recently that I might be covering, or I still got to go back and maybe complete some more Into the Pit. That's another newish FNAF game. There's the Fanverse games, we just started up we started up Pop Goes Arcade again recently at the time of recording this intro bit. So again, there's all these other FNAF things, whether they're old or new, that it's going on, and they're going to be somewhat covered on the channel. Maybe not, everything FNAF's going to be covered on the channel, because, there's loads of other channels out there covering all the FNAF news and all the new FNAF games and fan games and, stuff like that. So, movie news. So I just wanted to get this video its own intro, so you guys can just kind of sit back and see what I was talking about almost a couple months ago, because I rewatched it while I was getting it for this video, and I practically am agreeing with what I was saying in that video, that I'm going to be covering the various FNAF things here and there, even into the next year, 2, 5, who knows, but FNAF's probably still going to be a part of the channel just because of how big it has been on the channel since the very beginning. So I figured I would, make this video. So that being said, you know the drill. If you do enjoy, leave a like, comment, subscribe, very much appreciated. Hit the bell to be notified when I come back to do more FNAF on the channel, or any of our other games like Boris and Survival, Baldi's Basics, Doki Doki Literature Club, Minecraft, other things like Gary's Mod and whatnot that we've done. So if you want to see other stuff, wait and see. There might be some other games on the horizon too. So, but yeah, I think it's enough of this intro. I don't want this to be too long. It's 4 minutes. Oh, it's already been 4 minutes. Alright, so I'm gonna end things here. So if you have enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, very much appreciated. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. I'll see you on the flip side, and let's roll into that FNAF discussion. I'll see you guys next time, everybody. Anyways, with that being said, let's have that little general FNAF talk that I want to have at the end of this stream. So, Secret Mimic, that's all the stuff I want to say and done. And I will say now, I'm probably not going to be playing it when it releases, because I don't think I have the hardware for it. But nevertheless, I'll probably be watching a playthrough. But I want to get into a general FNAF conversation. So, general FNAF conversation time. So obviously, I pointed it out earlier, and it's also a reason, obviously these details came out, these trailers, these Steam pages all came out a little while ago. And that's something I think we should talk about. So obviously, I still love FNAF. I'm still enjoying kind of following it, you know, whatnot. But yeah, if we look back to like late 2021, late 2020, late 2021, I covered everything Security Breach, and before that, I covered all the Help Wanted news to an extent. Where's some Help Wanted news videos? News. All these Help Wanted news. So again, I was following these pretty frequently. I was obviously following all the like little teaser games, troll games. I even covered that crowd control that they did for like a GT Live charity stream, cause that was something. But yeah, if we look past Security Breach. So I was like, I didn't play Security Breach when it came out, because again, big hardware limitations at the time. If we look forward past that, past like the 2021, going to 2022, I was still playing the games. We even had like a FNAF talk in 2022, and we were playing certain games. And we had a big crash on the Dreadbear stream because I couldn't run the Foxy ride on my computer. But yeah, if we go into like 2023, you know, I bunched up all the Help Wanted 2 teaser, Ruin trailer, and even, like I said, the FNAF movie first teaser into one update live stream where I was playing FNAF 1, I was updating about the channel. I put all those in one thing, you know? That's what I did. You know, I didn't have a single video on the entire Ruin trailer breakdown. I didn't have a full segment video on the Help Wanted 2 mini teaser. I didn't have a full video analyzing frame by frame of the FNAF movie trailer teaser. But you know, and then obviously my 9 special was lore. But yeah, we didn't do that, and then I ended 2023 with a news video at the beginning of 2023 before the game released. I'm like, hey, just in honor of me I've covered all the Help Wanted 1 news when it was releasing. Here's a full video on the trailer of Help Wanted 2. And that's all I did with that. That's all I did for Help Wanted 2. I didn't cover the Steam page because I think that came out a few days after. Unless I did cover the Steam page in the video. I don't fully remember. That's about a year, almost 2 years ago. But yeah, and then obviously I did a full news video on FNAF AR because it was shutting down. I hadn't played it. And then obviously we're back to our usual stuff. And even the news videos for FNAF's 10th anniversary, a lot of that news was obviously out for like maybe a month or almost 2. And my videos came out maybe like a lot closer to the actual anniversary. It's like, you know, oh yeah, here's all the news that's been out for a while, but hey, I'm gonna slap it all into one video now because I only had the time for one news video. I didn't have time for like 3 or 4 separate news videos. Same with Into the Pit. Into the Pit had like leaks at the beginning of 2024. I stayed away. I had seen them kinda, and I kinda mainly, I'm like, I'm not covering them on the channel because they were leaks. When the stuff actually did start coming out, I'm like, okay, stuff's coming out. I want to do a video on this. That video almost came out like literally, maybe I think at the end of July, literally right before August was starting. So like, okay, here's your big breakdown of Into the Pit before the game comes out, and here's everything you want to know, and here's my interpretations of everything you want to know. And then since then, again, we were playing mainly Into the Pit and a couple other small FNAF things, but you know, I'm not fully covering the news right when it drops anymore. And the same goes for Fanverse, because obviously I can open the playlist up, but I might just talk about it. I obviously have the Fanverse news playlist where I was like covering mainly all the FCAF news, at least maybe a couple days to a week after it came out. The little bit of FNAF Plus news. We had FNAF Plus had its whole stream before that was pulled the plug. You know, I haven't even touched all the entire Pop Goes Evergreen news. Like that's a whole, like that could be a whole stream, just like the FNAF Plus. Obviously we talked about like Pop Goes Arcade, My Pop Goes, all that was covered. But you know, now it's like there was like a joke Pop Goes teaser released not too long ago for Fool's Day. There was a major update with candies that I really want to talk about, but it's almost a month old now. some T-Jock stuff, I think, updated on the Steam page. So it's like, there's news, and I obviously want to maybe talk about it, being like, okay, I am looking forward to these fan-first games. I want to give them attention, but here we are. You know, when am I going to have the time to sit down with it? So, I don't know. I don't know if I want to say, like, going forward, maybe if I'm going to do any more FNAF news, it'll either be on, like, a vlog stream or, you know, its own big live stream. I still think there will maybe be a few news videos, but I don't know how frequently they're going to come out and how closely they're going to come out compared to when the news actually drops. Because A, there's going to be a bunch of other YouTube channels already giving you the news right when it drops, and B, I feel like if I can get out a lot of my other stuff that's on my plate and then come back to the news and give like a fresh take on it a little bit after, because honestly, again, like I said, we had in the stream where I'm like, hey, I've seen this, but I look back at the mushroom scene and I'm like, is that Jackie's head in the mushroom costume and not just the mimic? You know, I had some fresh ideas coming back to this stuff a little bit later. So yeah. And obviously, again, I want to get Help Wanted 2 at some point, because I would like to try the flat mode, because the flat mode looked interesting. And if you know, from this year's Christmas special, I haven't even had a chance to set it up yet, because I can't get it to work with fully set up just yet, because of one thing or another. But I do have a VR headset. But, you know, I don't even know if I'd play it in VR. But, you know, I have Help Wanted. I bought Security Breach when it was on sale, because I had a slimmer of hope that it was going to run on my black laptop that we're on right now. Didn't. So, some point in my life, at some point, I'm going to play Security Breach on PC, but for now, the best thing I have is me playing the Switch port, which I have actually gotten to a main ending. I got the leave ending just a few days ago, or I think actually yesterday, if we want to be realistic. But, you know, I mean, this is the closest I get for right now before I can play on PC, so be it. I bought it on PC because I thought I had the space and the storage and the tech to run it. Didn't work out. I own it, so that means it's, you know, I know there's a whole thing about, whole shtick about do you own your games, this or that right now going on with gaming right now. Gaming's in an interesting place here, there, and everywhere right now. But I'm not here to talk about that. But yeah, you know, obviously, I think I said I was going to talk about it at the beginning of the stream because I accidentally opened it. But yeah, you know, obviously I've been doing like my modern playthrough of the classic games. 1, 2, 3, 4. Social Location, which I'm going to come back to. Pizza Sim. Ultimate Custom Night. And in that playlist description, I do mention Help Wanted, because I haven't, like... And that's the funny thing I'm going to mention on the stream right now, too. Despite having Help Wanted played over 10 hours and only 7 achievements, I haven't actually beaten the game. I haven't gone all the way through all the main levels. And it's funny that I've just kind of goofed around with Help Wanted since its release, since I got flat mode. But I played Security Breach all the way through. And I'm not saying that this because I don't like Help Wanted. It's just, you know, I didn't fully have feel invested to fully go through the games. I think at the time that I got it, flat mode came out literally, I think, at the end of 2019, after the game had already been out. So I watched like a full playthrough. So I think my mindset when I got it in flat mode, I'm like, hey, the game just came out. This is fun. I'm just gonna mess around with it. I already know how the game ends. Why play through the ending right now? And that's why that's why I have games that, like, you know, I've played, like Social Location, FNAF 4, and it took me years later to actually beat them to some extent. So, you know, it's interesting. But yeah, so, needless to say, at some point, you know, I will be, you know, playing through certain FNAF games to a completion, or full completion, or quote-unquote 100% in my book. But, that's still, you know, here and there. So, we're gonna have to wait and see when that all plans out. Because obviously, let's not forget the ever-growing list of fan games and mods that I'm playing, because they're fun. Just for the sake of having this, you know, like, again, the mods, the fan games. You know, There's stuff that I want to come back to, stuff I've played, stuff I haven't played, stuff that I've downloaded, but it's just sitting there. So there's a lot of stuff. FNAF, it's over 10 years old now. We're gonna be 11 this year, and you know, maybe I like it for one reason now than I did when I first kind of did get into it eventually. But I think just like, cause like that, I can say the same thing about kind of like Super Mario and whatnot. Like I like Mario for this reason and that reason, but you know, I haven't fully necessarily played every Mario game, to completion, or every Mario spin-off or this or that. You know, same goes for like Minecraft. You know, I played a lot of Minecraft in a sense, and I've technically beaten it on the Wii U edition with friends, or maybe there's an old world of mine that did do it by myself. But you know, I haven't played Minecraft Java to its full extent to beat the Ender Dragon, nor have I, you know, done this or that in Minecraft. You know, you can like something and either fully complete it or not complete it, or just mess around in it. It all depends on your play style, your connection with the game. And I think for me, doing these update videos, covering the news of a game, you know, I get to see where the game might be going, where I think we're gonna be heading in this story. Because I know FNAF was in a weird place at the security breach where it's like, oh, they brought Afton back, oh, yada yada yada, oh, the game was glitchy, oh, we're gonna boycott FNAF, oh, we won't like Steel Wool anymore, even though they made a good Help Wanted game with a few bugs. But you know, I still think that, you know, I feel like now that we've had a little more security breach, not just security breach, we've had more Steel Wool games, and we have like Cat making a game, and maybe another game down the road. And you know, I don't know, I'm just gonna say it, I've been hearing stuff from, you know, YouTube Shorts and other stuff that Scott popped into a couple of people's live streams when the FNAF movie teaser was coming out, which that's one of the things I had to talk about for the stream ends. That is like, oh, this FNAF music's really good, someone should make a sequel to it or something. Don't know if we're actually gonna get a FNAF sequel, but you know, rumors, speculation, all fits in with the FNAF brand. You know, we had all the hoaxes way back when and whatnot, so it's all part of FNAF's identity. So yeah, and yeah, FNAF movie 2. I've seen the teaser. Again, I'm not gonna watch it, just because you know, I don't want this stream to be. You know, I think the last one that we watched the first teaser on, it has obviously a claim where it's like, oh yeah, you can keep this. The stream is fine, but you can't monetize it. And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm not at the monetizing stage yet, but you know, down the road, if I get to monetize any of my videos, stuff like this where I'm having a good ramble at the end of like a big news stream, and I want people to watch that and, you know, have it maybe get some traction and attention, then of course I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, I don't want this to not be able to be shared and maybe monetized, you know. But yeah, I've seen the FNAF 2 trailer. It's interesting the direction the movie's going, because yeah, FNAF 2, the movie is gonna be a sequel, not like FNAF 2 that's a prequel sequel. And the animatronics are gonna be roaming around the world and not be, well, they might be in the pizzeria, but they also might be like, you know, FNAF AR style, gonna be roaming into your house, trying to find Abby, Mike, something. Teaser only gave us a little bit to work with. We haven't seen the Wizards or the puppet yet. We just got to see Balloon Boy, surprisingly, and it's not like the little action figure that was in the first movie, surprisingly, so there's technically 2 different movie Balloon Boys, so yeah, that's fun. But that's neither here nor there. I think I got everything out. I think I got everything else I wanted to say out of the way. You know, at some point down the road, maybe for a one-off stream, or even a video, I'll do a quick playthrough, or I'll mess around maybe on my personal save file, because I can like now freely explode Pizzaplex now that I've reached an ending. You know, maybe I can mess around in the Pizzaplex for a video, for maybe at some point, like I said, those maybe a few years from now, maybe do a channel playthrough, whether it's on the Switch port, or who knows if I get a big family, not family PC, but you know, a big PC that's on a laptop, and get to play Security Breach PC for myself and get some of those Steam achievements, you know. We'll find out, but I think with that, I think we're in the stream. We've talked about Secret of the Mimic stuff. I've gone on my little FNAF little chat ramble at the end. So yeah, that's everything I want to say. Secret of the Mimic, I'm just going to wait till the game comes out, watch videos on it, and make my judgment there. And I suggest you guys to maybe do the same. Because maybe we'll find out more about this maybe newer Mimic story that's going to go on that. Like I said, I think we've now, maybe with newer games coming out, you know, maybe we're finally moving on from the ghost story to the animatronic, electronic, Mimic AI story for FNAF. We'll have to wait and see. More sci-fi robotics than paranormal position.